Hey, all of you becoming a community builders all across rural Alberta. We continue the discussion on the engagement approach to planning, and I've got a little 4-minute video that I want you to watch right after this. 2 things. 1, make your commitment. I'm going through right now all the reports, deciding who gets a certificate of completion, a certificate of participation. The determining factor is commitment. I see so many of you that have participated, but you haven't made your commitment. So please make your commitment. Also, and there's a link right here in this email. Also, life's 5 most urgent questions. Part of sustaining the momentum or continuous improvement is having direction. You may want to use this tool that we've included, the link in this tool, in this email, as a tool to help you with that direction. Life's 5 most urgent questions. What will be my greatest contribution to my family? What will be my greatest contribution to those that I lead, those that I serve, to my organization and my community? They act as a lighthouse to direct my efforts on a daily, weekly, monthly, and annual basis. Take advantage of that tool. Now, check out this email on how to set the context as we meet with people to generate great plans. The engagement approach to planning really has a lot to do with how we set the context. Check out this video and we'll be in touch again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. The engagement approach to planning. Engagement approach to planning. That planning and the process of planning is pretty simple, right? Organizing a series of steps to take us to an objective. That's a plan. And whether we're building feasibility studies, budgets, long-range goals, whatever the planning thing is, I would recommend an engagement approach. Getting stakeholders to be a part of the planning process. But to do that, I would ask you to thoughtfully consider how we set up the room. How we set up the room. The context. In Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point, he has an extensive conversation about the power of context. And that the contextual pressure is intense. What do I mean by context? The environment that we create, the feeling. We see that when we meet with an employee and we have a big desk between us and them, and we say things like, I'm here for you. We're on the same level. And yet there's a big, huge desk between us and them. The desk implies authority. The desk implies control. The desk implies a lot of things. Unintentionally or intentionally, the desk implies a lot and may be incongruent with what we say out of our mouths. So the room setup is critical to creating an environment where people will want to share, give their opinion, give their insight. The room setup implies trust or control or authority. Here's an interesting statistic. Studies showed and demonstrate that 55% of communication is body language, 38% is one of voice, and only 7% is verbal. Which means if you bring a bunch of people together and say, I want your opinions, we're going to have a dialogue, we're going to brainstorm, but you set it up as a classroom-style room, there's an incongruency between what you say we're about to do there and the way things are set up. Because a classroom style is not conducive to the sharing of information, is it? No, it implies that the person in front of the room is going to talk and everybody in a seat is going to listen. That's why I love public meetings where we're there to grab input and yet we set it up as a classroom. It inherently implies that the citizens will sit and be quiet and the person at the front will talk. That's not conducive to gathering information. Now, in this email, I've included a couple of diagrams and explanations. But at minimum, start to think about the context that you've created. Is the environment conducive to conversation? Is the environment in alignment with what you say the meeting's going to be? Now, conversely, if you are going to tell people something and instruct them on something, then the classroom is appropriate.
But if you're going to dialogue something, then small circles might be appropriate. Or a U shape might be appropriate. Or a chevron, that's where, that little chevron as water falls out, curved into one another. But certainly a classroom style is not appropriate for conversation, brainstorming, feedback gathering because of the statistics that I just cited. So check out what I've included in this email as diagrams that might help you set up a room for the purpose of the outcomes of the meeting. Context is important. See you later, everybody.